Woke up cold, with nothing but dead. No sword, no shoes, just regret. My cousin dragged me into this mess. Now I'm bleeding from my chest. Hunger pains and weather warnings. Every town feels less than warming. They say co-op makes it better, but I died with my friend together. Don't ask me why I am broke, it's just the outward. No, they say get good and then you'll thrive, but I just get smacked by a crab my size. I cast a rune, it burned my hand. Got mugged twice in Sears sand. I sold my boots just for a bed. Now I'm cursed and half undead. A bandit smiled, then took my tent. I paid 3 silver just to rent a rusty pot with holes and shame. And yet they say that's just the game. Don't ask me why I am broke, it's just the outward. No, they say get good and then you'll thrive, but I just get smacked by a crab my size.
Greetings and salutations, my name is Ignis and today I played Outward with Lemmy. For those who don't know, Outward is a survival adventure where the thrill of exploration meets the challenge of brutal realism. Now imagine a world where every step is a gamble, where the weather could be your worst enemy and every campfire you make could be your very last. And your trusty gear might just have a mind of its own. It's a game that blends gritty survival mechanics with a magical wonder, demanding you master the art of living on the edge while laughing at the chaos that ensues. And speaking of chaos, have you ever tried cooking over a campfire only to end up with a meal that even the local wildlife would politely decline? Welcome to the Outward experience. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like. If this isn't the first video of mine you've seen, consider subscribing for more. And with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. So, you want to hear a story, huh? What better place to draw in attention than to tell of a tale before the end?
Hunter の意志によりゾシアの討伐を遂行する。
No, not that story. Alright, suit yourself. How about this one then? No remarkable journey is achieved without great effort. All my life I've lived in the safety of Serzo, spared the brutality of the world outside, but life is never that easy. For all the safety that my tribe provides, our laws are harsh, and we are judged not as individuals, but as bloodlines entire. And now I have joined an expedition across the sea with my old friend Azan, hoping the money we make there will be enough to clear all of my debts. That was my first mistake. I'm lucky to still be breathing after our ship hit the rocks on the return voyage. Now I have no choice but to pick myself up yet again and face the wild, untamed lands outside the walls. I will carve out my own future. or die trying. I awaken on the beach of a shipwreck with nothing more than 27 silver, a mild concussion, and enough sand in my undergarments to terraform a desert. No clothes, no companions, and no dignity, just me and my existential dread. And the grim realization that my vacation cruise did not include a return ticket. After fashioning an outfit that screams fashionably homeless, I stagger up a hill to a camp forged from shipwreck debris and garnished with the tasteful arrangement of crew corpses. Honestly, 10 out of 10 on the Apocalypse Pinterest board. Kneeling before one of the polite cadavers, I find Azan, who against all odds is still breathing and quite possibly high on trauma. He's thrilled that I'm alive, which is more than I can say for the rest of the ship's decor. He suggests we warm up by the fire instead of, screaming into the void. Azan informs me that Eto made it out and is getting help in Cierzo. Well, since being knocked unconscious by Poseidon's pimp hand hurts like hell, I decided to lie down and reevaluate my life choices. Sleep takes me like a warm embrace, or more accurately, a chloroform rag, and I dream of being ensnared in something, like a metaphor for my debt or the poorly thought out character build. I jolt awake in my own bed, relieved to find myself in the comforting rot of the Cierzo lighthouse. Thank you, Azan, for dragging my broken meat vessel back here. My bones still ache, and I don't think you were easy on the stairs. My skin smells like wet driftwood, and my blood debt is hanging over my head, now less than a looming responsibility and more of a active responsibility now. Upon exiting my lighthouse clad in mild depression, I'm greeted by Risa Aberdeen and a full funeral party, which, if you're wondering, is a terrible time to crack jokes.
Rise and shine, trog spawn. You think you can nip off for 4 months and not pay what you owe the tribe?
A blood price is sacred. You can't just shrug off that responsibility.
If I don't see the money from you by the time I count to 10, you'll regret you ever came home!
Calm down, ladies. I just woke up from that very same shipwreck. Have a bloody heart, will ya?
Yeah! You were on that ship too, weren't you? How many lives must your family be responsible for destroying before enough is enough?
Okay, first off, I'm not some plague or bad omen, and please, stop this. You're all being completely unreasonable. Don't make this violent either.
If you can't make the payments you missed, we will seize your home!
Are any of you actually bloody listening to me?
Enough of this! 12 people are dead. Stop this shameful behavior at once!
Thank you. Someone's being reasonable.
To threaten someone like this while the lost lives are still fresh is an insult to their memory.
Oh, but wait. Someone's gonna speak up against that.
But, Chamber Lady Aberdeen.
What I say?
I said that is enough! If you want to resume discussions after the mourning period, feel free. Oliel, see these people off, would you?
You heard, Mother. Away with you, or I will personally see to it that you get double shifts of guard duty.
Turns out 12 people died in the wreck, and while I was off playing waterlogged hermit, everyone else was busy having feelings. The village, with its overwhelming sense of community and subtle threats, demands that I pay 150 silver in 5 days, or they're going to repossess my house. Because nothing says compassion like foreclosure. And that is how our story begins. With my friend Lemmy, a man whose combat grace is akin to that of a fridge hurled downstairs, we managed to scrape together the 150 silver, not by honest labor, mind you, but by killing mantis shrimps, bullying the local fishermen, and looting the bodies of those less fortunate. We spend a few nights in Cierzo recovering from our adventure and a possible case of tetanus, before heading into the wilds with a plan on our heads and the confidence of people who clearly haven't read the wiki. News of a new bandit fort, the Montcalm clan, reaches us, and naturally we decide to go commit some neighborhood improvement. As we arrive, the bandits greet us in a time-honored tradition of screaming and stabbing, but Lemmy and I are armed with a staff, fire magic, and poor impulse control. We reduce several bandits to human charcoal without much issue. It is until I square up with an ice mage, because every DIY villain group needs one guy who thinks they're Elsa. I win, barely, and victory is mine. Until it isn't. Yeah, cue the backstab. Thankfully, Lemmy is there to save me, only for another goon to remind us both that hubris is the leading cause of death. With the fort now a pile of smoldering corpses and poor life decisions, we press on towards the Conflux Mountain, a place for people who love magic but hate survival. To reach the inner chambers, we must brave one of 3 paths. We choose the Holy Mission route, because bottom of the mountain sounded like a nice leisurely hike. Mistake number 1. But luck shines on us. The Holy Mission involves flipping 3 levers and fending off an army of troglodytes and mana mantises, while Zephyrian, bless his emotionally unavailable soul, acts as a damage sponge for us. Once inside the Conflux chambers, Lemmy and I part ways. He seeks wisdom and, more importantly, loot, and I, like any genius, go fishing. This was mistake number 2. While collecting water, I am lovingly murdered by a glacial tyrannosaur. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, while the light faded from my eyes and the endless void beckoned me onwards to the eternal plane, Lemmy eventually came round rushing to my aid. He also died. Good hustle though. The watchers of the ley line, likely amused by our performance, dragged us off to safety. And here we undergo mana channeling, which in game terms means sacrifice health for cool blue sparkles. We then pawn our spoils like a morally ambiguous yacht sail to the vendors, and we take our leave. Taking the boats provided, we arrive on the beach, weary, tired, and still rather bruised. With the sun setting over the horizon, we seek shelter for the night, and rather than camping like we had before, we can see a fort before us, a welcome reprise from the caves of the mountain and the grassy fields of the wild. We set off to see if any lodging could be provided for us for the night, and, well, I could explain more as to what happened. However, I do believe it's best if I just showed you.
Well, now what do we have here? A lost traveler. Come warm yourself up inside. We'll take good care of you. Does that mean we can rest here?
What can I do?
Plenty of free rooms.
Oh, that's so nice.
You know, it is already night, I might as well rest.
What? What is... Huh?
Cube? Why the fuck am I in prison?
You forget the point. I'm also in prison with you. Why are we in prison?
Okay. Cue the montage.
Days never ending. Master got me working. Someday he gon' set me free. Days never ending. Master got me working. Someday he gon' set me free. Days never ending. Master got me working. Someday he gon' set me free.
After being in prison, Lemmy and I prove that indentured servitude can actually be profitable. We mine iron, sell it, and then pray the guards discover HR. Having collected enough iron and sold it, we were able to earn our way through to the inner chambers, where foolishly the guards left the gate unlocked with all of our gear behind it. Having worked us to the bone, plus some, I say that the following actions myself and Lemmy took were justified, at the bare minimum. And with that, we burn them alive, filling the prison with smoke and the smell of burnt flesh. And as the scent of the crispy jailer wafts through the halls, the alarm begins to blare. And with that, we abscond with our gear in someone else's underwear, because, I mean, loot is loot, I can still sell that. Then, in a twist that would make Indiana Jones blush, I got too curious and opened a trapdoor below me. It may not have been the exit we intended to take, but a way out is still a way out, even if it means now that we need to trudge through a troglodyte-infested cave. But to our unprepared, overconfident, and extremely flammable bodies, we meet our end once more. Let that be a lesson. Never trust a ring of shiny rings. Always carry extra bandages, and if a mantis shrimp gives you attitude, burn its family. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.